All right, ladies, happy Tuesday. Thank you for being here. I am so excited to be here with you girls today. I know this is a crazy week. I'm hosting Thanksgiving for 15 people, and I haven't even really started to really dive deep. So I know that our time is precious. So I am so thankful that you girls are here tonight. And for those that couldn't make it, I got you. I'm recording the call because I had like 5 girls telling me I can't make it, but I got you. So we are here tonight to come together. So I just kind of want to say Wendy is my business partner, and we're actually hosting a 21-day challenge group together. So Illiet, before I introduce you, just want to share this call is going to wrap up that group, which is such a beautiful thing because they get to hear from someone outside of our, the regular coaches, which is always nice. My day, who's here with me tonight as well, has been a very long time client of mine who has lost so much weight. She's in another group that I'm hosting as well, but she's my lifer. But I love that Maite is always a student. She's always invested in her well-being. So happy to have her here. So I just kind of want to introduce Illiet really quick, and then I'm going to hand it over so she can get straight to the call. So I did a speaking event not too long ago for my son's high school. They started a wellness club in an all-boys Catholic school, which was like, whoa, hold on a second. We're going to teach wellness to boys. To me, that was like, bravo, standing ovation. Yeah. So when they asked a couple of parents like, hey, who would be willing to, run with it? I'm looking for board members. I was like, put me in, coach, put me in. So we did a speaking event, our very first one at the Biltmore Hotel. And it was, I got to speak about, wellness overall. And Illiet at the end of the event was like, hey, I know you, we have mutual friends. Dixie is one of them who has been a longtime friend of mine. So long story short, I called Dixie and I'm like, I met one of your friends. And so, we kind of connected, and I just felt like she was the perfect person to invite to be my guest speaker on our next call, because when she told me I am a wellness and mindset coach too, I'm a CEO. I'm the CEO of Chasin Balance. I do my own thing and I have clients. I was like, she's the perfect person, because a lot of times I feel that I can preach to my clients, but it's kind of like parenting. It'll go in through one ear sometimes and out to the other, but then they hear from someone else, it's the same thing, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need to do. And I'm like, yes, these are the little angels that God sends to speak when it's not, when it needs to be heard, but it doesn't need to necessarily come from our voice. So that's really what I wanted to share, so that you would understand how Illiet came into my life. And Wendy and I have been wellness coaches for a very long time. We actually work for the same network, but Wendy has had a recent incredible transformation where she realized that her body wasn't responding the way she wanted to, and she realized that it was her own self-talk, her own self-love. She was creating that toxicity in herself. So even though she was doing the things, it had so much to do with the way she was talking to herself, the self-love, the worry, the stress. And so it's been an honor to have partnered with her for this last group that we did for 21 days together. So I am so excited to have Wendy here by my side. I'm learning so much from her. It's been awesome. So Illiet, I wanted you to know that too, so that you would know that we don't just talk the talk. We walk the walk. We're wellness coaches, but we're in this ourselves. I myself just finished working with an FNTP, trying to, get my, I think it wasn't so much my hormones. I mean, it did have to do with my hormones, but after my spine surgery, I really needed somebody to just kind of walk me through the healing process. So we are students as well. So we would love to hear from you. How did you get into this business? What is it that, or maybe a little bit of your story, and what does Chasing Balance mean? What do you teach your clients so that our clients could hear how it is that you coach your clients, and maybe they'll have that aha moment and be like, that's what I needed to hear. So please take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Obviously, Susie, thank you so much for one, having the mindset that you have that does not enclose you to your group, and really, really understands that honestly, this is, I'm faith driven as well. And we are vessels. That's all we are, so I'm honored to be part of your group. I'm honored to speak. I'm honored to, for allowing me to be here. So like she said, my name is Illiet. I'm very excited to be with you guys. I know it's Thanksgiving week, and I challenged my own clients. I'm like, listen, you can label this week whatever you want. I need you to show up, because we show up during hard times, and we've labeled it. We haven't labeled it as stressful. We haven't labeled it as, a chaotic week, because then guess what? It becomes chaos. So this week we've labeled it as opportunist, as gratitude, and that's where I kind of like our voice and our dialogue has been. But anyways, my name is Illiet. I am the founder of Chasin Balance Consulting. So it's a consulting agency. Under that, it's basically 3 different pillars that I'm very passionate about. They all intertwine with mental health. And it's creative development, which is making, because I'm a DIYer. I'm obsessed with making things. I make my life a lot harder because I like to DIY. I'm a mindset coach as well, certified nationally mindset coach as well. And with that, I walk into organizations and I call myself a culture disruptor, because I feel like HR and the norms of culture of cultured corporate America are very, check the boxes. I came from corporate America. I've been part of corporate America my entire life. And we know that they can offer a million wellness programs, but they don't let you get up from your chair, or you don't allow yourself to get up from the chair because it's frowned upon. So with that, I've gone back in, I'm giving back to the corporate people that are in there, they're vested, and I provide leadership training, team building, but it's all around wellness and mindset and mental health, which I'm a huge advocate for. And then last but not least is my wellness part, which again, I go into organizations, do wellness consulting. I write newsletters for companies. I provide wellness fairs. And then of course, I have a beautiful group I teach at night, also in a virtual setting. It's women from all over the United States. And I do fitness with them every night. We do nutrition, we do mindset. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And Susie, you said it, it's a beautiful space to be in, because we are all in this together. As far as my wellness journey, so in high school, I played sports. I was always in a very tomboy athletic, I loved it. Played college basketball for 1 year. I'm not very tall. I'm 5 feet, Susie. So I don't know how I made it there, but I did. But again, when I got there, I was like, I want to be a grown-up already. I don't want to do this. So came back home. Ever since I came back, my standards of like athleticism have always been in search of more. And I think a big journey for people is finding something they love. Because I don't know about you guys, but if you don't enjoy exercising, you're like, I detest this. This is not fun. And I have friends who are like, I don't know why you're smiling. And I'm like, because I love this. But you have to find what you love, right? You have to totally find what you love. And that's by trying new things. Is it always going to be uncomfortable? Is it ever comfortable? No. So the key is to find what you like. So anyways, did the whole Bally's thing. I, tried different gyms. And then the truth is that I was pregnant, whatever. And then I found CrossFit along the way. It has totally changed my personal life. I've been part of the CrossFit community my son is 15 years old. So about 15 years. I've been part of the same facility for 15 years. I was pregnant with both my children in those 2 facilities. I was one of the newer people pregnant in the CrossFit community. So everybody was clueless. Everybody's like, go home, like rest. Like, what are you doing? And like, they would frown upon my husband. Like, your girl needs to go like home. She just needs to rest. And he would be like, she is resting. That is rest. So anyways, fast forward, being in athletics, competing. I was a basketball coach when I was a high school teacher, has always been part of my life. Now, I've competed for WBFF. I've won like the old lady division. I've done the overall, second place thing. I did NPC for a while, but WBFF was kind of like my, it was a little bit less, not subjective, but They enjoyed the whole, not skinny, but a beautiful composition. So that was kind of where I was at. Now let's hit to our 40s, the beautiful 40s. And if you guys are there or not there, whatever, you're gonna be there. And it changes, things change, performance standards. My personality, I've always been driven by excelling, by being better. You know, I don't want to be mediocre. That's not the way. I don't want to be mediocre at anything, you know. Athleticism and performance is one of them. So in my 40s, hormones jumped in. I'm like, why is this happening? Why can I control how I feel? Why am I? And if anybody suffers here from hormones, it is, there's like a whole lot of prayer that goes into hormones. Okay. I went to a couple doctors. They wanted to throw medicine in, and I'm like, you know what? I want to do it more natural. I've always been into nutrition, learning new trends. I've been a student for my entire life when it comes to all of that. And I just wanted to make sure that I stayed, and even competing, people want to stick steroids into the mix, fads. They want to do fads, quick fads. And you know what? My methodology is, a fad can work temporarily, but I'm in this for the long marathon. And I think that's the mindset that we need to be in. I want to perform when I'm 60. I want to perform when I'm 70. I want to challenge my body. So I invest in long-term goals. I invest in long-term nutrition. I don't invest in quick fixes. And that's what I encourage everyone, you know, everybody around me. I'm very passionate about food, nutrition. I'm passionate about how you feel. I'm passionate about performance, optimizing how you behave, your energy levels. I don't feel that because I am a mom of 2 kids, you know, teenagers, and I encourage and challenge any mom out there, you know, that having kids is not a crutch. You know, it is so important for us to understand that we need to show them how important our well-being is, both mental and emotional, both spiritual, you know, and stepping out sometimes, because I know we suffer a lot from guilt. You know, I suffer from that a lot, you know, leaving, you're like, and everybody's looking like, where are you going? I'm like, to the gym. And it's very weird and it's awkward. But when you respect yourself, I feel, when you give yourself that time, everybody around you sees it, and it just becomes the norm, to be very frank. And I mean, there's no secrets. So guilt is a big giant thing that I went through for a long time, being a brand new mom, but I pushed through because it was important for me. And to fast forward to where I am today, getting movement and taking care of my health is about me, because it's a better delivery as a mom, as a husband, you know, to my husband, as a wife. For my family, for my well-being, for my happiness, for my confidence, the way I look at myself in the mirror, the way I perform, the way I show up to places. It's what it's for. And it might sound a little selfish, but it is 100% selfish, because I adore myself and I want to be there. I don't want to be mediocre for my kids. I want to be the best multitasking mom in the world. I know it sounds crazy, but I do. And that is the mindset. As far as chasing balance is concerned, and the word chasing balance came from a thought. I was in much despair in a corporate setting, and it was in a tough place. I was getting mentally abused by my boss. It was a terrible culture. But I prayed and I was like, Jesus, you're going to show up for me. And I kept going, and I'm like, I'm going to ignore this person. I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep pushing. And Jesus worked for me overnight with a vision board. That Monday I walked in, January 7th, I lost my job. And ego-wise, it was the most incredible heart pain, because people like me do not get fired. I've never said this out loud, but people like me don't get, I was hardworking, so passionate, but I needed a prayer answered, because I wasn't going to leave from that relationship. I wasn't going to leave. I was going to hold on for dear life and just pray it out. But my prayer was answered. It was completely answered. I didn't notice back then, but it did. And the truth is, chasing balance came from that space of just wanting to be like this incredible PTA mom, and being an incredible super hot wife, showing up to the gym, eating super good, climbing up corporate ladder, and just being super cool and like doing the ornaments and goodie bags. I wanted to do it all. And I was like, why am I failing at everything? And that's where the concept of chasing balance came. And I was like, I have lost total control of what's happening. And I had an epiphany one day sitting journaling. And I said, balance is not, I'm never going to attain balance. Balance is what I'm missing out on, the day to day. If you think that balance is going to come knocking at your door, zero. It's not coming. It's not coming. The focus is, what is balance today? Like, what did balance look like for me today? Was it the super wife? Was it the super mom? Was it the Illiet needs attention this week or today? So balance to me is something that it is the process. You know, I have a program. I'm going to do a little pitch here, but my program that's coming out in January is called Life in Progress. And it's my leadership program for goal setting. And I was like, we are always in progress, but we need to reevaluate every single day what's important to us. You know, the days that our food doesn't go well. Okay, well, did we get our movement in? You know, where are we compensating for ourselves? So that's kind of the concept of what balance is. And that's what I teach. That's my methodology. That's my heart. That's how I walk. That's how I speak. And yeah. Any questions? Because I don't want to only talk.
Okay, so yes, I thank you so much for sharing that, Illiet. And I love that you are a woman of many gifts. And I love that you share them, because the other day I was actually listening to on Sunday, I went to church, and my the priest that was giving the sermon was like, gifts are not meant to be kept, they're meant to be given away. And if we all have gifts, which we do, we need to share them. So I love that you are a woman of many gifts. I too did CrossFit for a while, and I love that world. But when it was hard for me to like just go with the kids, like I just found that at-home fitness just works better for me. But I love the whole CrossFit deal, so we are connected in that. But I wanted to ask you a few questions. So first of all, I know that you say you want to challenge your body because you want to be there when you're 60, 70. What does Illiet do every day to challenge her body?
Well, I do 2 workouts a day. Well, every 3 days, because I teach a night class. So my morning routine, like Illiet's morning routine, is going to work out. So when I walk in, I'm working out and I'm talking to myself, and that self-dialogue is pushing, because naturally I am not always motivated. I mean, I don't know, you guys are always motivated, because no. I'm like, no. But you know that saying of like your habits show up, that is 100% real. It's psychologically proven. Like the more you do something uncomfortable, like I know that whether there's torrential rain, like that hurricane that happened a couple of days ago, everything in the majority of society would have said, go back home because it's raining, right? And like, oh, está lloviendo, I'm not gonna,
right.
Don't go there. But my habits got me there. Yeah. My habits showed up there. So Illiet physically challenges herself when she shows up on, what am I going to do better today? Am I going to move faster? Am I going to move quicker? How is she going to push through? Self-dialogue is huge. I talk to myself a lot. Vocabulary is a big thing for me, and I teach that to my girls a lot. I'm like, what we say consumes us. It's who we are. So big, huge on dialogue. In the evening time, when I show up for my ladies, the program I do, it's interesting. And you guys are perfect example of this. If you would have told me 4 years ago, I'm going to be working out in front of a computer, I would have been like, you're crazy.
Right.
Like community in a computer, por favor. Even when we were sent home, I was like, I was full on going to places and having workshops, hugging people, touching them. I'm like, wait. You want me to do this through a screen? I'm like, there's no connection there. Listen. If the greatest connection I have is with the women that I have my exercise class with, it is such incredible unity. It dumbfounds me, and you guys experience that, I'm sure. It is the most beautiful connection, because you are in your homes, you're in your safe space. You've created a very unique area where you probably work out at, in the same exact place. Like I have my area where I teach. And I tell, the girls, like, it's awkward to be in front of a computer to work out. It's 100% awkward, but that's the hard part. You're skipping out on driving somewhere, walking in awkward. No, you're in your safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I set up to do my exercises in the afternoon, también, I'm a motivator. So I have to step out of okay, Illiet, you're working out for you. I'm working out for the girls. I'm working to make sure that we're taking care of our technique. We're taking care of, and we're pushing, because again, I'm not here to, showing up is not enough. That sounds scary, but showing up is not enough. So yeah, that's
okay. So that's how you challenge your body. I love that. I love that. You're a go-getter for sure. I love how you said that you want to be more than mediocre for your kids. What is it that you tell your clients? Let's say that, because that's your why, but let's say, some of your clients maybe don't have kids, or when they're struggling, or they can't find a why. What is it that you teach your clients? Because like I get that a lot. As a matter of fact, I got that one yesterday, that she's like, I am not motivated. I have my 3 kids and I just really don't care about anything right now. What, your why is your kids wanting to be more than mediocre. What do you tell, what do you advise your clients?
I get that a lot too. I think when you have gotten to the point that you haven't done any movement for yourself, or you haven't felt that adrenaline rush that we feel when we're done with a workout, that you're like, okay, I did it. It's hard to describe to somebody. Like, the minute that you're done, you're going to feel great, like guaranteed, right? Like, it's torturous, but you're going to feel great. I actually skip out on the why. And the reason I do that is because sometimes when they've lost complete hope, I set more of, how do I say, like, maybe small little goals of, how can I do this? And do you think that you can, right? I kind of engineer backward. I discuss obstacles. Okay, what are the reasons that you maybe don't feel motivated? And the majority of the time is like, I haven't done this in a long time. I don't feel comfortable in my skin. I'm not going to see a difference. Things are
not. What about overwhelm?
Yeah. I'm overwhelmed. There's too many things. Like, how am I going to fit this in?
I get that all the time.
Has time. And the truth is, if you reverse engineer, which has worked a little bit for me, in the sense of like even making a pact of, show up for me for 15 minutes for the warm up, and let that just be, you're just showing up for 15 minutes. Help me experience 15 minutes with me. That's it. And they show up, they do the 15 minutes, and then they're like, wait, do I log off? I'm like, yes, you came, you said what you're going to do, and now you're done. You're done. You don't owe me anything. We're done. And then that action-based showing up helps a lot.
Because it's like a follow through. It's like you're committing and you're following through. So it's achievable.
Right. And when people talk themselves, even through the coaching program, even through any type of coaching, when you ask people, what is the obstacle, that they start actually speaking about it, they start noticing, it's like, man, that's an excuse.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like self-reflection, which is super important, because, us as coaches, we need to let them figure out, we need to let them resolve, because they have the solutions.
Right.
We just need to kind of probe them to it. So I do skip out on the why. I kind of make it more tangible, and like the show up, what are the obstacles? What do you think you're going to feel? Is it going to probably be uncomfortable? And we write kind of that way.
Got it. I love that. I wrote that down, because that's something that can be very helpful for us as well. Okay. One more question before I open it up. So I love how you said balance is the process. So Chasin Balance is really a consulting firm. So if someone wanted to work with you, what would they get?
Well, which pillar? Because there's a whole lot of ways to work with me.
The 3 pillars are mental health, you said?
Yeah. So we have creative development, which is my DIY team building classes.
Okay.
Right. Which I always integrate mental health in it. It's beautiful. Like right now I've done like Thanksgiving stuff. I have a couple of hotels that I work with their member services. And I have a lot of people that want to do fun stuff. So they make stuff.
Okay.
So I have that pillar. I have my mindset one, which is again, leadership development, a team that needs, that wants to like hire me to do team building in leadership, stress management, vision boarding. It's my biggest class, my most amazing class. That's how I started, because my vision board worked overnight, by the way.
Which I'm gonna ask you about that now. And then your
Yeah.
third pillar is?
And my third pillar is wellness, and that's the coaching program or wellness incorporation into an organization.
Got it. Awesome. I love it. All right, ladies. Ask away. Illiet is yours. Wendy, do you want to say anything? Do you have any questions? You're good? Anyone else have any questions for Illiet? Don't be shy.
Yeah, please don't be.
Gladys wants to ask, but she can't unmute.
There we go.
There you go.
Hello.
Hi,
First of all,
Gladys.
much for being here and for your smile, your energy. It's awesome. Really appreciate it. Also, I want my question to you is obviously everything that you're talking about is awesome because it feels like it's something sustainable. It's something that like your whole explanation of chasing balance is basically one day at a time, and taking that approach, which is a lot more easier to to look at. And my next question, or my first question, that was a comment, is on your vision board, what are the main things that you have on your vision board for the next year?
Well, I haven't done my next year's yet, but this year's is basically my word of the year is abundance. I had balance for a long time, but I'm like, I think I figured that out. So abundance has been my word of the year this year. And it's really because from the same scarce, as confident as I feel like I am, I also have a scarce mindset. And, that comes from, childhood stuff, that comes from, age, that comes from a variety of things. You're like, nope, thank you for joining. I feel we all have, a scarce something. So abundant has been like, I'm so deserving. I'm so hardworking. So that's my word. And then as far as my vision board is concerned, I had a big giant picture of me leading a big giant class, which I did. I led my largest group. It was actually virtual, but it was over 1,000 people. And it was amazing, and it was glorious, and it was just great. I've been doing a lot of community stuff. I'm a mentor, which I had a picture of mentoring, which was my goal. I just didn't know how, because I needed a mentor when I was in high school. I was like clueless, but I'm a mentor now at a high school for an organization called Women of Tomorrow. I'm obsessed with my girls. I'm like, I scare them because I'm like, girls, you have no idea what I'm bringing to you. Like, I'm like, you need to fear for your lives. But I have a lot of stuff that came to fruition, and I'll say this because I know you guys understand what a vision board is, but it's not magical. I've put in a lot of work this year, but it is my umbrella. It's my North Star. It's my guiding light. It's what I work off every single day. Aside from my task of doing dishes and Ubering my children around, I chip away at every single picture every single day. It's a non-negotiable. So
I love it. I love the way you said that it's your umbrella, right? I look at it as my map. Like I have mine right here in front of me, and I don't know how you do yours yet. Like this is kind of like my map. You know what I mean? But I love the way you use that word umbrella. So, which leads me to Gladys, great question, because I was to ask her about that. So when Dixie told me you have to do Illiet's vision board event, she did it with her husband, and she was like, you have to do it with your husband. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Are you still doing that? What does that entail? How much is it?
So my vision board workshops are year round. And when I first started it, that I opened it up to the public, like my mom and my aunt showed up and my cousins. I'm like, all right, guys, thanks for the support, but now I need like strangers for this to work. And it was like May, and my husband's friends are all making fun of me. They're like, vision boards are only in January. I'm like, haters. I'm like, this is all year long. So vision board is all year round. They come when people hire me to do a vision board, they're like, like it's just a vision board, and I'm like, oh no, it is a full-on mindset, personalized training for whatever your objectives are, or all of that. So yes, they're year round, they're virtual, they're in person, they're amazing. I have a couples one in February. That's what Dixie went to.
Yes.
Dixie went to a couples
A
one.
Valentine's.
I was like, it's Valentine's Day. I talked about the love languages and you did one board. So it was, I called it super cheesy, but 2 hearts, 1 board.
I love it.
And you had to, you know, we did some exercises and, you know, it wasn't counseling. I was like, this is not therapy. This is for you to have, again, a way forward that you're like, you know, I think us as women, we swear that we're talking out loud and it's all in our head. And they're like, how, do you think we're supposed to know that? I'm like, this is a priority for me. Like the mailbox is a priority for me, not for them, you know?
Yes.
So it's kind of like a way, a visual way to show like, okay, this is what's important to me. Do you feel it's important? Let's put it on there, you know? So it's a beautiful workshop. So yes, that will be coming in February.
For couples. But if we wanted to do something, let's say via Zoom, do you offer that anytime?
Of course. Yeah, it's super easy. I make it very easy. The most important thing to me, if anybody that wants to schedule a vision board, is tell me what your objective is and tell me if you have either a culture or a mission that you want me to support. I'm big on making sure that my verbiage supports your messaging.
Right.
So it's seamless. I want it to be like, I'm teaching this, I'm going to support you in that way. So,
Right.
so yes.
I'm going to reach out to you to find out more details on that, because I think that that would be something beautiful to bring to the community. And that was one of the biggest questions that I had. I have one last question, just because we, you know, Wendy and I, and even I have other business partners where, we coach. Really, the focus is nutrition and fitness, obviously with a mindset over everything as a foundation. But if somebody comes to you and says, hey, Illiet, you know, I want to lose weight, how can you help me? What are your like top 3 tips?
Besides,
do you give your clients a meal plan? How do you help them?
Yeah. So basically I have a consult with them, and then, you know, you kind of get a feel of their commitment level. I always ask a commitment level. So, you know, is this something temporary? You know, is it a wedding? You know, because I'll get that. Is it you know, going on vacation? You know, because I'll support you, but you have to be very, very honest to this.
Right.
You know, honesty is very important to me because I want to be able to help you to achieve your goals. Excuse me 1 second. Hold on. My dog, he wants to be at the party. The dog is barking, is crying. Sorry. So yeah, so I have a consult with them. I ask them questions, the basic, you know, preliminary baseline questions, commitment level. Have I done it before? What's worked? What hasn't? Do they have any type of medical, you know, I have some that have Hashimoto. I have some that are, you know, gluten-free, vegetarians, et cetera, et cetera. And we personalize from there. I love to teach the consumption in, consumption out. So I always take exactly how much calories they're burning, you know, because if they're in a sedentary lifestyle, it's completely different than somebody that's actually doing fitness regularly, you know, which you guys know that. So I always get that information first, just so I understand how many calories, safe calories they need to intake. Okay. Based on that number, I don't let them do any number figuring out. I do the number figuring out, and I do that math where they're going to get a nutrition plan that says you have to eat 3/4 cups of, brown rice.
Right. So you give them meal plans. Right.
Yeah. So I do the meal plans specified with amount. If people don't want to be so rigid, right? Any meal plan or anything that you follow is going to work, because it's going to be different than what you're doing right now.
Right.
I'm sure you get this all the time. The majority of people are not eating nowhere near enough. So it's just super freaky, because you're like, bro, I don't eat. And you're like, I know. But when you're eating, it's nothing good.
Right.
You know, or I'm fasting, but the metiste, you know, the first thing that's going to turn into sugar, you know? Right. So yeah, so very concisely, depending on people's needs, depending on sustainability, on their real life. I try to compare them, like, tell me your real life. Don't tell me you're going to commit because you're super driven right now for a week, and next week you're going to fail.
Right.
You know, so some people are not cooks. That's another thing. Then I'm not going to send you a full recipe that you're not going to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So you get hyped for nothing. Keep it simple. Meditate your protein, meditate your sweet potato, or whatever. So I get really, really close to their lifestyle, can I cook? Do I cook? Do I hate cooking? Do I love cooking? Do I want to eat out every day? Do I want to get a cantina? So I personalize to that
And
style.
then you also add fitness into their program too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then of course there's a fitness, which is a live programming. Like I show up 3 times a week live.
Okay.
6:15. You know, if I have an event, obviously we'll change, but it's 3 times a week. They show up, it's guided and recorded. You know, there's accountability through our chat. You know, I give them challenges every single day. They have a personalized newsletter that goes, you know, with dialogue, words of the month that they're supposed to use, whether it's to a message to somebody in the chat, et cetera, et cetera.
So I love that we have that in common, that you do offer nutrition and fitness, obviously, and mindset. So it's the same thing, but it's just more customized probably. Okay, I want to wrap it up because I know that we've been over 30 minutes. Top 3 tips that you would give to somebody who is struggling and needs to just become a better version. Top 3 tips.
Start super times 3 small. Okay, there's no need to go get an entire wardrobe of fitness. Keep it super simple. Show up in your regular clothes. That's it.
Right.
Simple to me, I think that's the hugest is keep it tiny. Keep your goals tiny. Changing your fitness regimen is not a goal. Okay, it's not a goal. It's showing up 5 minutes and walking outside. That's a goal.
Okay.
Right. So that's one. 2, be honest with yourself. Be super honest with yourself and why you want to do something. And I think that's going to be the real driver of helping you attain something. And number 3, top tip, man, I would say is don't wait for other people's validation. Like you have to be your drive.
I love that.
It's not your partner. You know, I hate to say it, like sometimes we're just waiting for somebody to encourage us. And the truth is that nobody can love us or want for us what we can provide for ourselves, you know? So if you're waiting, you know, it's part of emotional intelligence. You know, sometimes we have like, you know, what I call like being acomplejada, which sometimes we all carry that. And it's because we're waiting for either attention or reinforcement or validation. And the truth is we have to be it. We have to be it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Illiet. It just, you know, it really solidifies what it is that we do here in our community. You know, we are all about mindset, nutrition, fitness. But we talk about those same things. You know, sometimes I take it back to basics and I'm like, you know what, if you could only show up for a 15-minute workout, like if that's all you could do, then that's all you could do.
100%.
You know, being honest with yourself, definitely. I'm always telling, you know, all my clients, like, you got to dig deep into your why. Why do you want this? Don't do this for me. Don't do this just because you want to check off the box. Really do it for yourself. And then the last thing you said was you have to be your own drive. I love that because motivation is not always going to be there. So you have to find that within, and we have it. We just have to, you know, dig deep and take it out. So I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Illiet, for being here. We will stay in touch because I want to reach out to you for the vision board event. I think that would be something amazing that we can do probably in the beginning of January, just because, to be honest with you, my schedule right now is crazy, as is, I'm sure, so many. But what a beautiful way to start off 2024. So I will be reaching out to you for that. And again, just thank you for being here tonight. I love that you are such a gift. You are a woman of many, many gifts. Keep sharing it, keep shining brightly, and let's stay in touch for sure.
Absolutely. And thank you, Susie, for the space. Again,
Absolutely.
you know, it's a beautiful approach. So thank you for giving me your space and your community. I'm super grateful. And ladies, thank you so much for staying with us tonight. Did we take a picture? Like a
We
family?
didn't. Let's do it. I know that Wendy left, but
yeah.
She has her kids. Her daughter just came back from a very long mission.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
she's like, I am wanting to be with her at all times. I'm like, I get it, girl. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right, Illiet. Thank you so much. Girls, have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
guys.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll post the recording soon. Bye, girls.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.